A night of high stakes in the SEC Wednesday night proved to be a pivotal moment in the Southeastern Conference, SEC, with significant implications for the NCAA tournament in two intense matchups that altered the landscape of the race. For the coveted number 1 seed, number 5, Florida defeated number 7 Alabama on the road, while unranked Ole Miss shocked number 4 Tennessee in Oxford. The results created a shakeup in the battle for the final top seed in the NCAA tournament, with Florida gaining a significant edge over its SEC rivals. Florida's gritty victory over Alabama, Florida's 99-94 victory over Alabama at Coleman Coliseum, was a statement win for the Gators, as they managed to spoil Alabama's senior night and potentially alter the Crimson Tide's trajectory heading into the postseason. The win gives Florida a crucial leg up in the race for what many believe could be the final number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. A battle of runs and resilience. The game was a back-and-forth affair, filled with momentum swings and clutch performances. Florida opened the game, strong with a 15-8 lead, but Alabama quickly responded with a 9-0 run of its own. The Gators pushed back ahead to a 36-31 advantage, only for Alabama to once again rally with another 9-0 run to seize control. Despite these repeated surges, Florida never wavered. The Gators faced a 50-47 deficit early in the second half, but then engineered a dominant stretch that saw them build a 75-63 lead with just under 8 minutes remaining. It was a lead they would not relinquish, despite Alabama's best efforts to claw back into the contest. Clayton and Condon deliver for Florida. Walter Clayton Jr. and Alex Condon were the catalysts for Florida's victory, with both players delivering stellar performances. Clayton showcased his all-around game with 22 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds, while Condon was an absolute force in the paint, leading the team with 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 blocks. His dominance on the boards, including 5 offensive rebounds, contributed to Florida's overall 50-35 rebounding edge, which proved to be one of the decisive factors in the contest. Florida's ability to control the glass led to 16 second-chance points, giving them an extra edge against an Alabama squad that thrives in transition. By limiting Alabama's ability to push the pace, Florida was able to dictate the tempo and impose its half-court game plan. Sears' heroics not enough for Alabama. Alabama's Mark Sears was sensational in his final home game, putting up 30 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. He was one of 5 Alabama players to reach double figures, but it wasn't enough to overcome Florida's dominance on the boards and in the half-court. Despite cutting the deficit to 94-90 in the final seconds, Alabama was unable to get over the hump, allowing Florida to secure a massive road victory. Tennessee stumbles against Ole Miss. Meanwhile, in Oxford, number 4, Tennessee suffered a stunning 78-76 loss to unranked Ole Miss in a game that could significantly impact the Volunteers' seeding in the NCAA tournament. A game of missed opportunities. Tennessee entered the night with an apparent advantage in the SEC standings and the number 1 seed discussion, but a resilient Ole Miss squad refused to back down. The Volunteers held a 41-36 halftime lead and looked poised to escape with a win, but the Rebels gradually fought their way back into the game, taking a 74-70 lead with just over 2 minutes remaining. Tennessee appeared to have a miracle moment when it tied the game at 76 in the final minute on a rare 4-point play. After 𝐀𝐥𝐸𝐿𝐼 missed a 3-pointer, he secured his own offensive rebound and found 𝐅𝐥𝐸𝐿𝐼𝐿 Jr., who nailed a 3 while being fouled by Dre Davis. However, with the game on the line, Miletic had a chance to send the game into overtime, but missed a contested layup at the buzzer, sealing Tennessee's fate. Brakefield leads. Ole Miss to victory, 𝐁𝐥𝐸𝐴𝐚. Brakefield was the standout performer of the night, coming off the bench to score a game-high 19 points. He was one of 4 Rebels players to finish in double figures, leading a balanced offensive effort that kept Tennessee on its heels. This victory marked Ole Miss's second win over a ranked opponent this season, further bolstering its NCAA tournament resume. For Tennessee, the loss was a major setback. While still a lock for a high seed in the tournament, the Volunteers' hopes of securing a number 1 seed are now in jeopardy, particularly with Florida gaining ground in the final number 1 seed. The NCAA tournament picture remains fluid, but 3 number 1 seeds appear to be all but secured: Duke, Auburn, and Houston. The 4th and final number 1 seed remains up for grabs, with multiple teams in contention. Florida's out. Case for the top seed. With its win over Alabama, Florida has strengthened its position as the leading contender for the final number 1 seed. The Gators have been one of the most consistent teams in the country and now hold marquee wins over Alabama and Tennessee, 2 of their main competitors for the spot. If they can finish the regular season strong and make a deep run in the SEC tournament, they could solidify their claim to a top seed. Alabama's uphill battle. Alabama's loss to Florida was its second straight defeat against a top contender, following a tough loss to Tennessee just days earlier. However, the Crimson Tide will have an opportunity to make their case when they take on number 1 Auburn in the regular season finale. A road win over the Tigers could thrust them right back into the discussion. Tennessee's fading hopes. Tennessee's loss to Ole Miss may have dealt a critical blow to its number 1 seed aspirations, while a win against Alabama last weekend was a major boost. The Volunteers needed to avoid a slip-up against an unranked opponent. They will have a chance to regain momentum when they close the regular season at home against South Carolina, but they may now need a dominant performance in the SEC tournament to reclaim their top seed status. Final stretch, everything on the 𝐊𝐼𝐴. Line with the SEC regular season nearing its conclusion. Every game carries immense weight. Florida, Alabama, and Tennessee all remain in the hunt for the 4th number 1 seed, but Florida appears to be in the driver's seat after its pivotal win over Alabama. However, the upcoming SEC tournament could ultimately decide which team earns the top spot in the big dance. One thing is clear: the battle for NCAA tournament positioning is far from over, and the final weeks of the season promise plenty of drama and excitement for college basketball fans.